Yes, ma'am.
This is cause number 2010-02728J in the interest of Jordan Olivares. All parties, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Um, I am Jennifer Lujan, and I'm his mother.
Sir, your name and your relationship to the child.
Yes, sir. Jose Olivares. I'm his father.
And for the state,
Marcella Turner.
we've got a motion to confirm
That's correct, Your Honor.
support arrearage. I'm sorry. We're having a hearing. Do we have any stipulations?
We do not, Your Honor.
All right, let's proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the state would ask that the court take judicial notice of the prior court order signed on December 30th of 2014, entitled Agreed Child Support Review Order, Confirmation of Arrears and Modification, where Mr. Olivares was ordered to pay $500 in child support beginning January 1st of 2015. And medical support was ordered to be covered through Mr. Olivares' employer at that time.
All right.
The state would also like to offer into evidence what has been marked as State's Exhibit 1, which is the financial activity report in this matter.
Hold on a second. Do we have a financial activity report, Maria? Do we have a financial activity report? I think she's going to the printer to see if we have that
Okay.
yet. All right, Mr. Olivares, have you had an opportunity to look at this financial activity report, pay record?
Yes. Yes, sir.
You have any objections to me looking at it?
No, sir.
All right, Miss Lujan, have you had an opportunity to look at the financial activity report, pay record?
I have it before on the website.
Do you have any objections to me looking at it?
No, not at all.
All right, State's Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the state would like to call Ms. Lujan. Ms. Lujan, how old is the child before the court today?
Today he's 18.
He's
He'll be
18.
19 in June.
Okay. And has the child already graduated from high school?
Yes, he has.
Okay. And did he
He's
graduate?
now in college.
Okay, he's now in college. So he graduated in the year of 2020?
Yes.
Was that June of 2020?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Was there something you wanted to say, Your Honor?
Graduated in June of 2020. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right.
All right. And prior to your child graduating from high school, who was the child living with?
Okay, so he was living with me, and then his dad picked him up and hid him from me, and then filed I guess a motion for court or something. And then so once we went to court, we were waiting to decide where he was going to be. We went to see the judge. The judge then asked why we were there because
Okay.
if he was 16.
Objection,
So
Okay,
non-responsive.
hold on just a minute, ma'am. Just listen to the question. And let me
yes,
ask again, the child graduated in June of 2020 and he turned 18 on June 26th of 2020. Is
yes,
that correct? Okay.
yes.
All right. Now, just listen to the question and you can explain something later, but right now you just
Okay.
need to listen to the question and just answer the question, okay?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, Ms. Turner.
All right, so Ms. Lujan, when do you recall the month and the year that your child went to live with the father?
Yes, he picked him up in May.
Of what year?
Uh, 20, 2018.
Okay, and when your child went to live with
I'm sorry, it was
dad,
August. I'm sorry, it was August because he was done with school.
okay, and so when he went to live with dad in August of 2018, or when dad picked him up in August of 2018, was
Yes.
there ever a defined time period that the child was to return back to your home?
I never told him to get him. I never voluntarily told him to take him and to live with him. Never.
Okay, so where did he pick the child up from?
He picked him up from my sister-in-law's house because he was over there visiting with my sister-in-law.
And how old was your child at that time?
He was 16 years old.
And so once Mr. Olivares picked the child up back in 2018, is it your testimony that the relinquishment of possession was not voluntary?
Right. It was not voluntary.
Okay, and did you ever contact Mr. Olivares stating that you would like for him to return the child back to your home?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And he wouldn't
And what
answer my
was his
calls, and he took
response?
my son. Yes, he wouldn't answer my calls, and he wouldn't. He said he had a lawyer. He could not speak to me, and he took my son's phone, so I couldn't reach my son and know where he was at because I didn't even know where he lived because they have moved.
Okay, and so did your son was he ever able, in between the time that he first went with dad in 2018 up until the time he graduated from high school, are you testifying that at no time throughout those 2.5 years, the child ever reached out to you saying that he wanted to come back and live with you?
He said he wanted to go to court. He was so scared of his father he didn't want to cause any conflict between us. He wanted us to settle it in court.
And what efforts did you make on your end to get the child back in your possession within that period?
Yeah, okay. So I went to look for him. I finally found him on Snapchat with his location because his phone was taken from him, so I had no contact with him. And then I actually went up to his school, and they didn't have me down as a mother. They had his wife down as a mother, and I had to show my birth certificate to show them that I was actually the biological mother, and a court document saying that I had custody of him. And then he found out and had my son. Actually, my son told me that he was coached into writing a statement for his lawyer. He said he had to rewrite about 3 or 4 times to say that he needed to be there for that time being until we can go to court.
Okay, and so did you ever contact the police to have the child removed from the father's home and placed back in your possession?
I know a few policemen, and they told me that it is a civil matter and I would have to go to court. So there was already court in proceeded. So I just had to wait. I had my hands tied. I couldn't do anything until we see in court, the judge.
And so regardless of whether or not the relinquishment of the child was voluntary, did the child remain in dad's possession through the time period that he graduated from high school and turned 18?
We had to until because of us going to court already, and we had to go to mediation to figure out, I guess, see where he was going to end up going, but we couldn't come to an agreement. So we were waiting for, I guess, another call back from mediation, so that was never resolved. And then, of course, with all this COVID, of course, everything slowed down too. So it was kind of just, I guess, yeah, in limbo. So, and then, of course, he ended up graduating. And so that's when I contacted you guys to at least stop taking payments from him because he was 18. It was no longer necessary for him to be taking out payments from his account.
And so, do you believe that Mr. Olivares should be given possession credit on the past due arrearage amount?
No, because I didn't voluntarily give them to him. It was so stressful not being able to see my son. He had him hidden from me.
Okay, and you've seen, you understand that as of yesterday's date, Mr. Olivares was behind on child support in the amount of $12,950. Right?
Yes, I'm aware.
And are you asking this court to enter a judgment for that amount and order a payout on that amount to you?
Yes.
And so you're not asking the court to consider any sort of possession credit in favor of Mr.
No.
Okay.
No, because I'd at least help him with his college, and I know he told him that he would not help him with his college. So
Okay. No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Olivares, do you have any questions for Ms. Lujan?
Questions. I mean, I have a lot. I'm just trying to see how to word it. Maybe objection. I'm not sure, Your Honor.
No, she's on the witness stand. You can question her about whatever it is that she testified to. You have any
Okay,
questions?
so okay, so I can talk directly to her.
You can ask her a question, sir.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So, um, were you properly taking care of Jordan before Chachi called me?
Objection,
yes,
non-response. I'm sorry, objection relevance.
Well,
I guess I guess I don't have anything to say to her.
I'll allow you to say something to me, but not right now. It'll be
no. Yeah, I understood. Understood. I mean, so Jennifer, you think it's lawful that I pay you $12,000 while Jordan lived with me and I solely supported him?
is it lawful that I
no,
lowered your child
ma'am.
support?
No, you're not questioning. You're not doing the questioning. You're only doing the answer right now. You're on the witness stand. You can ask him questions later, but right now he's asking you a question and you need to answer this question.
Yes,
So
I do think it's yeah.
the
It's
answer is
lawful.
yes. Okay.
You believe
Yes.
it's lawful?
Well, that's a legal question. You know, she believes
Oh,
that you should pay support while you had the child to her. Okay.
yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I'm just baffled. I mean, I don't really have any other questions. I'm just y'all can continue. I'm sorry. I don't have any other questions for her.
All right. Call your next witness, Miss Turner.
At this time, the state calls Mr. Olivares. Mr. Olivares, how, when did the child come to be in your possession? Do you recall the date, the exact date or the
Hey,
month?
do you
And
have the exact date when he came into our possession? Can you give me the exact date real quick? Uh, uh, yes, ma'am. That'll be August 16th, 2018.
and how did the child come to be in your possession?
How did it transpire, or how did I just went and picked him up, or
Yeah, how did it happen? How did you
okay,
obtain possession of the child?
okay. So his aunt that he lived with, not that he visited, but that he lived with, gave me a call, and I actually had the phone call recorded. But anyway, she gave me a call and let me know that my son was being neglected, that he hadn't been enrolled in school, just a whole bunch of stuff. And so I let her know that I was already trying to get a lawyer. So I told her I didn't want to go and get in any trouble, so I would contact my lawyer. So I called my lawyer, and my lawyer said because of child abandonment and because he was being neglected, I was able to go and pick him up as his biological father. So that's what I did.
Okay, so you stated that the child lived with the aunt. How long had he been living with the aunt to your knowledge?
I already knew, I already knew that he had been bouncing around and that he lived with her for a while. Even in the phone call, she even says, but I'm just saying he lived with his aunt. He didn't live with his mother.
Question is, how long did he live with his aunt?
To my understanding, to my understanding, it's maybe over a year at that time.
I lived there with
Okay.
them.
And so at the time that you went and picked the child up from the aunt, did you ever receive a call from Ms. Lujan stating that she would like the child to come and live with you?
Would like the child to live with me?
Yes. Did
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
contact you and state that to you directly?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so the aunt that we're referring to, is she your sister or mom's sister, Ms. Lujan?
That's her. That's her brother's wife.
Her brother's wife. So this is not a biological
Her
aunt.
sister-in-law. This is her
Okay.
sister-in-law.
So her sister-in-law just contacted you out of the blue and said, come pick up the child, or the child living over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so during that time period that you stated you gained possession, did the child remain within your possession through June of 2020?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And so
All
during
right.
that
It looks to me like there was a lot of activity going on in the district court regarding this child and
time,
custody of this child. And in fact, there was possibly an order placing this child with the father, but I don't see where it was signed. But anyway, I think that this is a case to be referred to that district court
to
so that they can
finalize.
make uh, so they can see what activity has occurred in their court, uh, and then make a decision on if there's any arrearage or not, or how
Okay.
much there is. So I'm transferring this matter to the 247th District Court. DRO mediation is ordered.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. May